guys? So today is a lovely day in the neighborhood. Welcome back to the Hood to Hooded podcast with your host, Dr. Chiefess Sunflower. If you're watching me on any platform, make sure you go ahead and hit that like, subscribe button, and show the hood some love. Because we always elevating on the scene. Okay? We're trying to get the 1K hearts on TikTok, so make sure you hitting that heart button. It just helps more people find us, find these positive vibes, and find our tribe. Now, today, I ran across a video, y'all. You know I'm always snooping on the internet. And I ran across a video that we gonna, just get into. Because it was like, what? And this ties into our Finance Friday, so you can kind of see why we are. No one is coming to save us, basically. When it comes to finances, we have to save ourselves. Alright? So we just gonna dive right in this morning. ICO to my Niiji out there. ICO to the truth thinkers. People who trying to get out of the 3D dimension into the 5D, where you just like not allowing anything to rattle you. Okay? So we're gonna get into this video this morning. To start our morning to see why no one is coming to save us. You think someone's coming to save us, is all a trick coming from someone who can see behind the scenes what you can't see. I come from the state of Florida. I come from my tribe is from Florida, Georgia, the Southeast, Mississippian, Amerindians, Choctaw, Muskogean, Seminole, all of these different tribes in the Southeast. The Appalachian, Appalachia, aka Appalachia, Tallahassee, aka Tallahassee. Things always get hidden from us because if we knew the truth, if we knew how much we contribute to society and how much we are needed, we will wake up with that S on our chest. Do you feel me? You're going to wake up with that S on your chest, feeling like a Superman or a Superwoman. Not like the character. I'm talking about from the spirit. Feeling like you have superpowers. When you elevate your mind and your thinking, and you know who the fuck you are. That's the only goal, really, is to know who you are. After that, everything else falls into place like a puzzle. But when you don't know who you are, you kind of out of whack with life. You kind of like just going with the flow and letting things just happen to you. You know what I'm saying? And we can't be doing that. We can't do that, my Niiji. We have to wake up every day and live so unapologetic that nothing really stirs us in this moment. Because there's a lot of tension on the scene. It's a lot of things trying to get you out of your character, trying to make you stress, feel like you need somebody to save you. Now, some people really need help. They can't do for themselves. They can't go out and get it because maybe they have some type of medical issue. But the government don't give a damn about that. They just want everybody to panic. And in this moment, I want you guys to know that now is not the time to panic. Now is the time to unify. It's the time to continue sharing the knowledge because it got them shaking in their boots. Shaking. They gonna shake it like a salt. They shaking like a salt shaker right now, y'all. They like, they don't know what the fuck to do. The Niiji, they did not forget who they are. We will never forget who we are. You should know by now how strong our DNA is. You ain't learned yet. Some of the brightest, some of the boldest, most unapologetic people you will ever meet. You move to our tunes. You love our fashion and our swag. But yet, you don't want us to breathe. Can't take your foot off our neck. Let's talk about it. We're going to talk about it. So let's get into this video. I want to react to this video this morning to see why the financial climate is as such. It is as it is. It is out of whack. People out of touch with reality, out of touch with their spirit. But you got forces trying to break your spirit. You got forces trying to make you believe that you're something you're not. You got forces every day want you to know who their ancestors is, but don't want you to know who your ancestors is. They want you to know that their ancestors who unalive people did all this evil stuff was so great, but your ancestors, they gonna ban them out of your learning. Ban who you are. And it's sad. And this guy couldn't have said it better than me. I'm like, well, damn, he laid it out. And this video got to be a couple years old, but you know how the internet move. You probably seen it, you probably haven't, but I still think it's fitting for this time. It was about a young man, Jacob Blake, shot in the back this many times by one of the people who terrorized the planet. People say, oh, well, not all of them are bad, but very few of them are good. I have never seen really the good. I always see the evil. The good don't never get highlighted. You know, just this December, it haven't been a year yet, we saw a man unalive with handcuffs by 5 or 6 officers, just like they just know they got the right to just take their anger out and their hate out. We sick of it, man. That's probably why they banned me on Facebook from going live. I'm just sick of it, y'all. I'm sick of it, man. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of what is being done in the climate of this country and people just acting like they can't wake up. This video 2 years old, ain't nothing changed. Nothing changed. Nothing changed. And it's just like, you know. So let's get into this video. I'm gonna turn y'all around on TikTok so y'all can watch the video as well. But we're gonna get into it and react, and I want to know how y'all feel about this, because it didn't really sit all too well with me. So let's turn y'all around, TikTok. Go ahead and use those spirit fingers. Tap that screen. How y'all doing? What's going on, guys? Let's turn y'all around so y'all can get in the know. Alright, this is the video we're going to be analyzing today. White America, wake the hell up. Their words, not mine. Alright. So I did not make this video. You can see the source right there. Right here. So let's get into it, guys. I'm going to put y'all to the mic.
No justice?
Hold on.
No justice? No justice? Mr. Blake, thank you for having me, sir. It's an honor. Growing up in the mountains of North Carolina, I was taught racism. From as young as I can remember, I was told black people are violent. Black people are lazy. Black people are not as smart as white people. I remember my dad told me that black people are too lazy to work, and so they depend on welfare to live, and they sell drugs. 10 minutes after my dad said that to me, a man knocked on the door. I let him in. He handed my dad some money. My dad weighed out some marijuana and a few pills and handed it to that gentleman. And then we went to the store to buy some groceries. We didn't buy groceries with the money that that man just handed my father. It was little yellow, blue, and green food coupons. So my dad is trying to teach me that black people are drug dealers on welfare while my dad was selling drugs out the living room, living on welfare. You see, he would tell me, son, I work very hard. I don't make enough money to provide for you kids, so that's why I sell these drugs. I just love you so much. And these food stamps, well, I pay my taxes, so I earn them. You see, the indoctrination begins at a very young age. We are taught without even knowing it, there are two Americas. Despite marijuana use with the black community and the white community at the same rate, the black community is arrested and convicted at a rate 3 times higher than white America. There are black Americans in prison right now serving 30 and 40-year sentences for marijuana, while corporations are becoming multi-billion-dollar businesses selling marijuana. There are two Americas. If a man broke in my house right now, and I shot that man in the back, albeit in my own house, I could not claim self-defense because I shot him in the back. But a police officer can shoot Jacob Blake in the back 7 times and still be at work. If that's okay with you, we are on different moral platforms. We are on different ethical existences if that's okay with you. There's two Americas. The America I grew up in says if you comply, everything will be okay. Well, for white America, that's true. But black America faces a very different reality. The use of force and the threat of the use of force is actually 4 times higher for police-initiated interactions. The America I grew up in will say, if you stop talking about racism, it'll go away. Well, for white America, that's true. Because as a white American, I don't have to think about my race. I'm not judged by my skin color as soon as a potential employer meets me. As soon as a loan officer meets me. As someone that's coming to appraise my home for sale, don't judge me by my skin color. As a white American, I can completely forget about my race and even racism, so long as nobody talks about it. So then in my world, it won't exist. Well, I've decided enough of that. I'm here to call white America to task. I'm here to tell white America it's time to stand the hell up. Beside our fellow human beings, beside our fellow citizens, and it's time for white America to be part of the solution. I was raised by racists. I was taught how to be racist. So you can quit telling me that racism doesn't exist. You're a damn liar. I was raised in the belly of the beast. I was raised by racists, and now they hate me. I call that a glow up. That's all right. I'm not here to speak for black America, over black America, at black America. I'm here to speak to and at white America, and I'm screaming, wake the hell up. White supremacy is woven into the very fabric of this country. White supremacy bleeds from every pore of this country. In schools, we have standardized testing, but we don't have standardized resources. We don't have standardized opportunities. In hospitals, a black woman is more likely to die during childbirth at a rate 3 times higher than that of a white woman. In neighborhoods, power plants, and dumps are more likely to be put up by a predominantly black neighborhood than a predominantly white neighborhood. At home, 22% of black America lives in poverty, whereas only 9% of white America lives in poverty. White America loves black music, black trends, black culture, but kills black people at a rate 2.87 times higher than that of white people by the police. All of these things will not change unless we tear down, I'm going to say that again, unless we tear down the system of white supremacy that has built them into existence. We cannot fix the current system, for it is not broken. This system is working exactly as it was intended. Passing laws will not change it. You cannot legislate morality. Black America has screamed tirelessly for decades about these injustices, while white America has turned a blind eye and a deaf ear. Well, I'm here to say no more. Change is coming. Revolution is coming. It's time to open your eyes, white America. White people make up nearly 60% of the American population, and the overwhelming majority of them refuse to even admit that racism exists. They think that there's a conspiracy against them by the government with zero evidence, but ignore the obvious systemic racism and oppression against black America that's well documented. Well, I've made it my life's mission to call white America to task. Mr. Blake, Miss Austin, to all the families of victims of police brutality in this country, to all of those of you who wake up every day and deal with the system of white supremacy built to marginalize you, I say to you this one thing: I will stand with you. I will march with you. I will protest with you. I will fight with you. I will use my privilege and my platform to demand that white America stop ignoring this humanitarian crisis happening right here in America. So, white America, this is your choice. Either be part of the solution, or by God, you are the problem. No justice, no peace. Thank you.
Well, well, well. Okay, let's talk about it. I see some messages over here on TikTok. What's up, YouTube? Kid, how you doing? I'm doing great, feeling great. I'm doing great, y'all. So y'all saw it. Y'all saw it. That video is a little old, but whenever you talk about racism in America, it kind of never gets old. He said a mouthful in this video, and it definitely has something to do with our financial literacy topic for today. Heartbreaking as I think about how we are treated. Yes, it's super heartbreaking when you think about how we're treated. It doesn't stop. But the big issue I see in this whole thing is that people don't know that they're indigenous to this land. So when you claim that you're black, you claim that you're from Africa, you didn't do your genealogy, you take on that role of being African American because they teach this in school, not in the house. When you claim that identity, technically to them, you are pretty much DEAD. They call it chattel. Slave. You basically like a worker, an animal. We need more white people like him. Definitely need more white people to understand the atrocities that you caused. And maybe not directly to this day, like as much as back then, but it's still in the fabric. Like whenever you come and you take someone's possession, you take their land, you take their wealth, you take their gold, you search and you seize, you unalive, you do all this evil stuff, and then like he said, everyone's silent now. Everybody acting like they don't know what's going on. They want to just shut TikTok down. That ain't the damn solution. They want to censor the algorithm. That ain't the solution. colonize the algorithm. Let's do that, guys, so they can't talk. Have you realized or not? The mouth is not getting shut up ever again. The more evil you put out, the more we wake up. Don't play with us. Stop playing with us like that. They called us, oh, his father told him black people sold drugs, right? He said, don't fool with those people. Don't, those Indians, really. They want to call you black because they know that you don't know who you are when you think you're black. But if you know that you're indigenous and you did your ancestry, you did your genealogy, they know that you know a couple things. They know that you done read in those books when they told you not to. So if you one of those people, you just reading that one book they gave you, the KJV version of it, then you playing right along to the role. You the reason why they walk around silent, because they feel like you think you're from Africa. You wouldn't believe how many people, even myself, thought I was from Africa. Did my genealogy, did my ancestry, and all my ancestors right here in America on the National Archives. When was y'all gonna teach that in school? When was y'all gonna tell us that in school? When was y'all gonna show us anything about ourselves in school? When? When does it happen? Is it the 1st grade, the 5th grade, or the 12th grade? Or no grade? It's just banned. I guess when y'all ban the books about heritage and hair and all of this stuff, you also ban anything that have to do with us learning about ourselves. That's not school. That's assimilation. That's assimilating you to be dumb and not have any financial literacy skills, to be dumb and not even know how to plan for you to get older and sit back and chill, to be dumb to work for somebody for 40 years without a plan for retirement, and then people be working that long, get to the last year, and they get fired. It's all assimilation for you to keep sending your kids through the same generational curse to break their spirit. A lot of these jobs, you don't need 12 years of sitting down 8 hours a day, wasting your time to go to work at McDonald's. Let's just be honest. You don't really need all of that. So if you're going to have me in school for 12 years, at least make sure I can get out here and have a trade or something. At least make sure I can get out here and know how to invest in the stock market. At least make sure I can get out here and be safe and not be in one piece of grass on this continent. And because I'm this color, I'm going to go to jail. They find me with marijuana, like he said. But in a whole nother state, they got businesses and stores and they selling it and they smoking in front. But in this state where the Niiji at, they not paying attention. Where the Mississippians at, where we predominantly at, they refuse to legalize this plant. Even though when I go home to Florida, I see dispensaries all over. I'm like, well, damn, I thought weed was legal in Tallahassee. I mean, illegal. Where are these dispensaries coming from? Somebody's going in there. Yeah. And you can best believe they're not hunting those people that's going in there. They hunting the other people that's going in there. And it's been this way. That's why in the state of New York, they actually legalized weed because the police were using it to terrorize melanated people. They were using it to terrorize them. Now, they use it to make money for the state. See, we got to wake up and see the fuckery in all of this. We got to wake up and see the reality in all of this. You can't just stay blind and stay in a state of, well, someone is going to come and save us. You know, the government, they were here to save us. None of the welfare, the SNAP was ever in place for us. We just fought our way in because it was taking our money, taking our taxes. With the black codes, the thing that got me about the black codes is that this was a thing put in place by these different states. And I am beginning to feel like they treated, because before colonization, the Niiji were here. The melanated people were here. It's all in the documents. Don't argue, go read. We passed that level. We already know the truth. So if you like, oh, no, that ain't true, you need to go read. And I'm not talking about Scholastic. I'm not talking about Penguin House. I'm talking about real history from other countries who don't taint the stuff. They actually have it on their walls, paint it. It's just here where colonizers are at. See how they taught their grandson, hey, black people are bad, they're dumb, they're drug dealers, and they on welfare, and he was doing all three. Told him we was dumb. That's impossible. If we was dumb, we wouldn't be going from hood to hood with every odd stacked against us. I wouldn't be a doctor now without my parents in the house. I didn't have no mom or no dad in the house telling me how to hate nobody. My mom was gone, sleeping in her grave when I was 8 years old. My dad was in the street being harassed by these racist police, being locked up every chance they could find him. Because my dad, chocolate, he was always in prison. As a little girl, I didn't understand it. It made me feel like some type of anger towards him, because I'm like, my mama gone. My dad ain't taking care of me. He always in jail. I got to go to the prison to see him. I got to go to the jailhouse to see him. And when he out, he in the street life because he didn't have his dad. He didn't know his daddy. So this is a generational curse. That's what you call a generational curse. Perpetuated by the government, and they act like they don't know what the fuck going on. That's what I got a problem with. I'm the direct product of the hood. It's just that I didn't stay there. I'm the type of person who they put every stereotype on. You gonna be a teenage mother because my mama had me at 14 years old. You gonna be a dropout. No, boo, I graduated from high school from the International Baccalaureate program. Oh, you ain't gonna go up and be nothing.
You see your cousin? You see your cousin?
No. You gonna grow up and be nothing. Guess what? Not only did I go to college, got 2 minors, a bachelor's, a master's, a doctoral, a residency. Baby, dumb where? Don't keep lying to your kids so they get out here in the world and they think, well, black people dumb. You better stop lying to them and tell them black people are, and I didn't even want to say black people, because they're really indigenous. But I know it's some people who still don't know that who they are. So I don't identify as that no more. I just said because this is what he was saying in the video. But we are the Niiji. So don't let them get out here and think the melanated people are dumb by a long shot. That spoon you're using, we invented. That AC you're using, we invented. That toilet you're using, we invented. This internet, we invented. The cell phone, we invented. The GPS, we invented. We can keep going on and on. Those vaccines you're using, Henrietta Lacks, come from us. Back in the day, that milk from them you was sucking came from us. And you hear it. It's just so much to digest in that video that he just laid it all out on the line. He laid it all out on the line. And I'm happy I found this video, because if you woke up today feeling stuck, feeling panicked, feeling like, dang, I need the government to save me, they ain't never been meant to save you. We have to save ourselves, my Niiji. We have to save ourselves. You gotta save yourself. Don't panic. Don't get mad. As long as there's grass, water, and the sun, and the ocean full of fish, baby, listen, you're gonna eat. As long as you got your brain, you're gonna eat. But what you can't do is sit down and say, dang, I'm waiting on somebody to save me. I'm waiting on somebody to show up and help me, because the help might not come. That's why, as a young girl, seeing my ancestors, my grandma, struggle with no food stamps to take care of me without a mama, but meanwhile this kid, dad, selling drugs, getting food stamps, having it his way, not getting harassed. He already know he ain't gonna get harassed, because he already know, hey, we teach y'all to hate them. The police is on point with that. Everybody on point with that who look like us, they on point with hating them. So I could sell drugs. I could do this. I could do that. That's what he's thinking. That's what he's thinking. That's what they thinking. And it's the truth. So in this country, when you have a race of people who stole the land and they pretend like you're black from Africa, this is why they are so confident, so cocky with their talking. Like, yeah, this is my. I watch all the older videos. They're like, well, they just don't want to work. They just want to sit in the sun and we just wish they would just go. No, it don't work that way, man. It's just a delusional way of thinking. This is what happens when you pull up somewhere you don't know people. You try to control them. You don't even understand them. You just can't say, well, damn, they was already here first. We should just let them alone. And no telling where we would be untainted with evil. Now we're tainted with evil. This planet is tainted with evil. The traces of evil are everywhere. And it's not going to stop. But does that mean we fall down? No, this is where you pick yourself up. Remember who you are. Remember who your ancestors are. Remember that you have that creative gene, that amazing spirit of positivity inside you, and nothing should be able to break your spirit. Yet, that is the whole purpose of, people acting this way towards people who have nothing but good energy. So today, for financial literacy, I just wanted us to see what racism breeds. It breeds so much hate. It breeds people who's supposed to be in positions to save the community and prevent crime are the main ones causing crime. The police officers doing more crime than anybody. But guess what? They're protected to do crime. Because guess what? People not connecting the dots. When they were trying to lock up the Indians and it was legal to do these type of things, and they were actually made it a law to go and hunt us if we wasn't going to work, and that's the Black Codes, by the way. Go read the Black Codes. It's not that long. Go read it. It'll wake your eyes up. It was just a way for them to always be watching us, stalking us. It's nothing changed. Leave us alone. Like, is that really that hard to do, just to leave people alone? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't wake up every day just thinking about going to harass somebody or hating somebody. But when you wake up and you teach your children hate and not love, hate and not humanity, hate and not sanity, what kind of life is that? To have to wake up and teach your child that a certain group of people is bad, like they're hateful, they're this, they that, Don't worry, we tell our children, a certain group of people are dangerous. They'll hurt you. That's bad. They'll hurt you. You gotta stay away from them. They don't like you. It's sad. So today, guys, for this Financial Freedom Friday, this is just like staying in your truth. Not being afraid of speaking your truth. For so long, we have been just shut out, shut in, and prohibited from being the full us. And I'm just so passionate about it, because it was just like by like a mustard seed that I slipped in from not breaking a generational curse. I could have went left so many times. I could have just gave up so many times, because this route to being a dentist, coming from all of the hate that white America put out for people like me to feel less than, to battle through that, to break generational curses, that's what it means. It's actually a mental change that you have to break. It's like mental stress that you have to go through. Trauma, when you're not handed shit. And you gotta fight every single day to make your dream come alive, because you believe in the American dream. You believe that some kind of way the shit gonna get even. Not knowing, because you've been taught in school to hate yourself. You've been taught in school that you're from a whole nother country. You've been taught in school nothing about money. And you get out here in this big world and you feel lost. But thankfully, I was that young girl, and my mama told me before she passed, you're gonna be a doctor. Even though we was living in the projects, even though I was surrounded by parties and drinking and people playing cards, you know how it is in the hood, a good fucking time. She knew that was something special. And I'm happy she sent me on that mission to go through this, to see the disparities as you matriculate through the educational system. I learned all the lies. I took all the classes. I took religion classes in college because I wanted to know the truth. Like, damn, something ain't hitting. Like, and I just kept going. Despite the homelessness multiple times. Despite being in poverty multiple times. Despite having to go get loans and sell all my stuff and give away all of my stuff and just to make your dreams come alive. Sometimes you gotta go up and through there to make your dreams come true. When you look like me, when the other side, they don't have to do all of that. They, like he said, when they see this color, it's gonna be a battle to get that loan for your house, for your car, for anything, because they already got it up that it's gonna be a no. To get a yes, you really gotta qualify. But if you was another skin color, it would be just a yes. We already know when they did surveying the lands from our ancestors back in the day, they divided the land up into rectangular plots and townships. If you go back to your genealogy, you might find your ancestors filled out census bureaus and they lived in townships. This is where the Indians were. Okay? So don't get it twisted. The lie is up. People who still believe the lie, to me, they just don't care. They obviously benefit from the lie. If you benefit from the lie, please just keep strolling. I don't want to talk to your ass. I don't want to argue. I don't want to talk. Just stroll. We on 2 different pages, and you too far behind, too gone to catch up. Okay? I'm trying to talk to my people and let them know that it was meant for you to fail. It was meant for us to fail. It was meant for us to wake up feeling stressed out every day and to go to work. No. Wake up, my Niiji. I want you to wake up right now. Take a deep breath. And anything that's stressing you out about America, let it go. Just stressing you out about what's going on in your life, let it go. It's going to be okay. This is the wake-up call we all need in this country. Because my people got to stop letting other people step on them like this. When it comes to the officers, when it comes to the taxes, when it comes to every little part in the educational system, especially the religion, that's the number one weapon. But that's the number one thing we scream is religion, but that's the number one weapon. That's why we so shackled and don't even know it. Don't even know it. I posted the video yesterday about the slave Bible and King James and how he wrote the book of demonology. I had people in there, oh no, King James, regardless, he ain't do nothing good. They're like, it wasn't never mentioned. Yes, it was. Do you know that certain words mean certain words in other languages back then? People just want to argue. They just want to be on the bad, evil side. They want to see nothing wrong with what's happening. They don't want to see nothing wrong with what has transpired in America. They don't see nothing wrong with it. They see nothing wrong with it. They see nothing wrong with it. But going through this journey and having to, experience racism along this journey, it just taught me something. I'm just so happy that I was able to maintain my sanity throughout this whole process and get to this point, to the point where I know who I am. I'm excited to tell people who they are. I'm so excited to let people know, hey man, your knowledge, your DNA goes so deep. We've been lied to so bad. And we still getting lied to right this second. Right now. Right now. We're being lied to. And we lie to ourselves every day. That is the ultimate generational curse. When you don't know who you are and you trick yourself into believing that you're something that you're not, just to fall into a colonizer's plan and trick for your life. They got your life planned out until you retire. They got it planned out from the first grade, actually from birth, and you sign the birth certificate, all the way till you retire and you pass away. They got it planned out, because if you go and this ain't paid, they taking your stuff. You don't have a trust, then your family gotta fight. It just tie your whole entire life up. No longer is life about just gardening, having family land. You just always having the big acres. Like, no longer is life about just getting in the sun, feeling grounded, eating from the land, getting fruit off the trees. They cut all the trees down, put it all in the grocery store. Now you gotta worry about groceries every week, versus you got so much fruit and trees, like, you don't know what to do with yourself. When Christopher Columbus pulled up to America, in his journal, he wrote, "There are so many plants and fruit trees that I don't even know what to do. I don't even know their names. I wish I knew their names." And he just started taking shit. But it was so much food, was plentiful for the whole tribe. Now, where are the fruit trees? Where they went? Even in Tallahassee, where I grew up, I remember the date trees, the palm trees, fruit, plums, oranges. Now there's nothing. You gotta actually literally go to the store or starve. They took all the land, so now you can't even really farm, because they gave 160 acres away to any settler who was non-melanated, so they could be farmers on our land and feed us. And they took over the cow. They took over every single part of the land, using eminent domain, using the doctrine of discovery, using messages from the Pope to take over the land. And this is where we end up now, where you have this guy in this video saying, my dad taught me to hate. He taught me black people were bad. He taught me, thank you for following HFJJHS. He taught me all these things, yet he was selling drugs, on food stamps, and full of hate. When does hate expire? That is my final question. When is the expiration date of hate? Is it just infinity and beyond, or is it like, you know what? We just tired of being hateful. We're tired. This guy who we just watched, he just tired, because he was a little kid watching his dad, who he supposed to trust and love, lie to him, saying to hate a group of people because they do this, when he was actually doing it. He was actually using the food stamps. They were the top leaders of, crimes. When I get outside of my comfort zone, outside of the house, and I'm riding on the road, right, even as a dentist, right, my guard is always up, because I'm in America. So this is how it feels when you're in America and you melanated and you just driving down the street, even as a doctor, right? You just riding down the street, especially you in the South. I don't like driving in the South. If you in the South, you might not understand it, because you are, how do you say it? You have adapted to the racial stress and tension. But for me, it gives me anxiety when I go to the South. I used to live in the South, but when I was there, I didn't notice how much the police harass you. Like, they just sit on the corner, they try to find you, they get behind you, they're out late at night. They just like really on the hunt in the South. Ain't nothing changed in my eyes. Nothing. That's why they will not legalize marijuana in the South. It's just like when there was a war between the Loyalists and the Patriots. So the Loyalists were this was the 13 colonies, the Civil War, when they was fighting on, do we want to keep being evil as hell and kidnapping people and committing homicide and democide and calling it slavery when it's really prisoners of war? Do we want to keep doing that? And they was fighting, the Patriots and the Loyalists. The Loyalists were loyal to the crown, Great Britain, because they the one who sent them over here to steal the land. The Patriots wanted to break away from the crown so they can control us and be evil on their own. They didn't want to stop stealing land and doing all this stuff. They wanted to just stay evil in the South. That's why it's evil in the South, right? So even to this day, that has turned into, like, in my eyes, the war on marijuana, like he said. upstate California, people just, it's nothing anymore. You don't get locked up. You don't. The patients come in, they, oh yeah, doc, da, da, da. You know it. But in the South, they keep that law there because they use that to lock people up. Like he said, there are people right now serving 40 years for marijuana when they making 30, 40 million off of this shit. Dispensaries everywhere, even in Florida. But they won't change that law because that law is the last thing holding them in place to harass people. So let's get back to the story of me driving in the South. I'm going to say I'm in my hometown of Tallahassee. Okay? Tallahassee. Alright? And I'm just driving in the South. Or let's say I'm in New York, where I am now. I'm driving, see police officers sitting on the side, they just chilling. They don't pull out. They don't get behind me. They just mind their business. I'm just driving, you know. I can go about my day, you know. Nothing. When I go home to Tallahassee and I'm driving, it's like, damn, it's the police every 5 minutes. Damn, is it just police in the, like, where all y'all come from? Why y'all harassing people like that, man? So I'm driving in the South. I'm riding in Tallahassee. Just the anxiety go up. I'm like, damn, it's a lot of popo out here. It gave me anxiety, like. And then not only that, if you driving, because I was driving late night, 10, 11, is it illegal to drive late or what? Like, what? Now, what? Driving, they get behind you and harass you. They don't stop you, they just follow you. And you like, and then this make you get anxious because you know about George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Jacob Blake. You know about these. You just like, what the? Give you anxiety. Trayvon Martin. The list goes on and on and on and on. Then they just get behind you and harass you. It's like a game for them. Then now you stress. You gotta drive perfect because you don't want no interactions with their ass. And you gotta try to trick your way to get away from them because I don't want y'all harassing me. I'm not used to this. You know. They see you, they over here, they see you pass, they get in the car and I can't even explain. Even in Georgia, I refuse to drive through Georgia because I must have went through a sundown town. And I wasn't driving, but it was me on the passenger side with a melanated Niiji driving, a male, a chief driving. We passed them. They got people pulled over. I don't know what they was doing. Traffic stop. I don't know. But one of them got in the car, stayed behind us because they saw that Niiji driving. Tall dreads. You know, handsome Niiji driving. Thankfully, it was a store up the street. We went to the store because we already know what time they on. You can sense it when they hop in the car, start get behind you, pull up to the store. He go in the store. I get in the driver's seat because in my eyes, it's less of a risk when a female driving than a male in my eyes. And then I luckily I can use my doctor title. Hey man, I'm a dentist. And then they, oh, we respect this. We respect doctors. And then I probably cuss their ass out because it's like, why the fuck you bothering us, man? Why y'all got this in your head that when you see one of us, we just evil? Oh, now we know why. Y'all seen that video. Now you know why it's taught to be that way. But let me put y'all on note. Melanated Niiji women hold the title for the most master's degree. Okay? Even though we got only 2 HBCUs that put out melanated Niiji doctors, we still on your ass. Everything is unfair, but we still find a way to catch up and surpass with greatness. We still find a way to create and keep our stories being told with oral history. That's the big upset now. The oral history is triumph, is overtaking the pseudoscience, the eugenics, the white supremacy, all of these lies. Even that word is a lie. white supremacy. What's supreme about that? I think it's melanin supremacy. Do you like that, since y'all like seeing that word? You know? But in this world, the evil, I feel, has to dissipate. And no one is coming to save us. As you can see, guys, no one is coming to save us. We have to save ourselves. So as we go into November and people can't get their snaps, don't snap. Let's have some family cookouts every day. Who house cooking spaghetti? Like, what we doing? What we doing, twin? Are y'all starting those YouTube channels and starting those videos so you can have that residual income? I'm talking about everybody in the family got a channel. Easy money. Easy money. Y'all, what we doing? We can't sit down and just wait. The days of waiting is over. It is an urgency for us to know who we are. It is an urgency, like they said, for white America to wake the hell up. Stop being silent. Stop being racist. Silently teaching your kids to be hateful. It doesn't go far. I'm a product of the educational system in this country, and it just taught me to hate myself. To the point where I got to be an adult, I thought my skin was ugly. Oh, you know I got bullied in school. Y'all already know this. They thought that this chocolate skin was ugly. Then I got up and I realized, damn, this melanin is tea. Clock that tea. This melanin is everything, boo. It's my defense system. Fuck you talking about? Me and the sun go hand in hand. Fuck you talking about? I got older, had interview, cried in the interview because I thought I was less than, because I was taught to hate my skin. I counted myself out of that interview before I even had a chance, because nobody in the interview looked like me. But I was just that brilliant to be there, but didn't even recognize it. And I had to go back to the drawing board for a whole year to get my confidence up. I didn't know who I was then. It's just a miracle that I got in to a melanated dental school that denied me the year before. So that's why I say I'm supposed to be here. Because somebody out there is doubting themselves. Somebody out there feel less than what they are because they dark-skinned, because they deeply melanated, because they got this beautiful pigment that is a defense system against the ultraviolet rays from the sun, protecting you from cancer. But you don't like it though, because you've been lied to. The same way they lie about your skin, the same way they lie about religion, the same way they lie about everything. Lie to their kids and tell them that we on welfare, we're this, we're that, and hate them and hate that. They're dumb, they stupid. When my patients pull up and I take that tooth out, far from stupid, far from dumb, very intelligent, far from it. And it take a lot for a young kid to break out of the mindset of self-hate that has been taught, and it's taught in school. I don't think y'all understand what the shit taught at. It's taught in school. The bullies, they taught to do that in school. That's why when the little kids like this guy get to school, they ready to bully you. They ready to hate on you. They ready to turn into officers. They think we all dumb. Despite the inventions, despite everything that you use that have everything to do with us, despite the music, despite the fashion, despite every single, the basketball, the football, the tennis, the boxing, but far from dumb. And it's time for us to wake up, know who we are, as a whole world, as a country. It's time for people to be honest, because no one is coming to save us, guys. No one. But it's okay, because we've been saving ourselves. We don't need saving. Like, what? I just need you to know how great you are. And once you realize that, baby, nothing can stop you. Once you realize how amazing you are, nothing can stop you. Once you realize that you have a purpose deeper than somebody coming to save you, nothing can stop you. Once you step out in front of the past, nothing can stop you. And believe in yourself. No one can get in your way. No one. No one. I've seen it over and over and over again. I just can't imagine if I had to just quit on myself. Where would I be now? Not here. That's why I had to get to this point. I had to get through the tough times of poverty, growing up in the hood, losing my mom as an 8-year-old, not having my dad, him being harassed by the cops. I had to go through custody battles. I had to go through homelessness. I had to go through not having all the answers and making so many mistakes as a teenager, making so many mistakes in college, going into debt from student. I had to go through all of this. I had to move from Florida to Nashville to New York City and live in Brooklyn and be homeless in Brooklyn. I had to be homeless, go into the hospital as a resident, treat my patients and sleep in the car, shower at the gym. I had to go through that. I had to move to New York with nothing, give all of my stuff away because it couldn't fit in the car and I couldn't afford to take it with me. I had to do that. I had to braid hair in school, in college, work 3 jobs just to get through because I was facing generational curses. I had to do that because there was a group of people in America who thought that I was dumb. I had to study with a white girl who had taken the dental admission test 2 times before me and did not tell me, but she studied with me like she did not take it. And then on the 3rd time she wasn't ready and she told me, hey, I already took this test, I'm sorry, but can you push your test back? And I'm like, damn, what the fuck? You took this test, you've been studying with me every day for 2 months, you never told me, so you gatekeeping? They're playing your face. And from that moment I didn't trust. My trust was broken. I'm like, well, damn. And then after the test was over, she called me like, damn, you failed too? I'm like, damn, you think I failed because you failed? I say, listen, girl, I gotta go. I'm not finna call the board and go off on them because what's your score? I didn't tell her my score. But when I went to my first dental interview, that lady told me, the one that I cried myself out of, she said, you know what, Dr. Shon, you don't got to take your test over, your scores are better than, even when I left the test place, the lady was like, damn, this is in Tallahassee, she said, your score is really good. I'm like, well, damn, okay. That gave me confidence right there because she see people taking these tests. So when the girl called me, she like, did you fail too? I'm like, nah. She wanted to know my score. I got in that same year. It just goes to show you, don't count yourself out. And this is a person who had mom, dad, never had to work, no food stamps, didn't know what food stamps was. For God's sakes, I used some food stamps when me and her was studying to go to the store. And she was like, oh my God. Acting like she didn't know what it was. She probably didn't. But she couldn't pass that test. You know? The moral of the story is, know who you are, guys. No one is coming to save you. No one is coming to save us. But we don't need saving, okay? We got this shit under control. Alright? Something gonna shake one way or another. Okay? So this is Dr. Cheapest Sunflower. Thank you for following on Twitch. Thank you for listening on YouTube. To my TikTok folks, thank y'all for checking in. I'll be back tomorrow, 8 a.m. for another real session. You know, we only gonna keep it real. Who knows what I'll discover by tomorrow. Alright. But I'm out. Y'all have a wonderful day. Do it in love. Get rid of the hate. If your parents taught you to be a hateful, evil motherfucker, let it go. It ain't gonna serve you at all. You're gonna get old and be like, damn, I wasted my whole life hating on people. I mean, like, deep hate. The deep hate where you just look at people like, they dumb, they this. Knowing that you, the main one selling stuff and doing stuff and evil. I'm happy this guy came out and told his truth. We getting more, you know, of white America coming out and speaking and just waking up like, yeah, you know, we been evil as fuck. You know, I don't want to be on that side no more. And if you don't want to be on that side no more, kudos to you. Kudos to you. Kudos. But where does America go from here? That's one question I have for you as I leave. And does evil have an expiration date? I really want to know. Put your questions in the chat or your answers in the chat and let me know. Does evil have an expiration date? Where does America go from here? Alright. Bye guys. I'll see you later. Alright. TikTok, Twitch, YouTube. Let me know what's going on. Peace out, guys.